My name is Ymir. I go by AlmondMnMs both here on Flosstube/YouTube, on Instagram, etc. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning friend, hi, long time no see. Did I say this was Flosstube number 20? I don't think I did, but this is Flosstube number 20. There's a lot that we have to talk about and a lot that we have to catch up on. I haven't been around for a long time, about a month, so a little bit over a month. So there's a lot that we have to catch up on, a lot that we have to chit chat on. I have my water bottle. So if you want to grab a cup of coffee, tea, water, a drink, it doesn't matter. It might be a long one, so I'm not quite sure. We'll see how this goes. I also have a little bit of a different background. I am still in my active current apartment, but I am in the living room because the rest of the house looks like a hot mess because we're still packing. Yes. So you will see my little super old radiator. It comes with the apartment and it's attached to the walls. If you know about a little bit of architecture and things like that, look at this vintage situation. You might hear some cars and things like that. Possibly my neighbor's kid running around, my neighbor downstairs staging. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We're just gonna roll with it. And yeah, there's no structure at all for this video. I am just gonna roll with the punches. If you're not new here, you pretty much know that I get all of these random thoughts, so I just continue going. But yes, yeah, so we'll go from there. I have not been stitching at all, since the last time we spoke. I was actively working on the Zimmerman Coverlet. So if you're just here for the stitching per se and you want to see what I've been working on, I haven't been working on anything, and the only progress I have is this. I'm still stuck on the same place situation from the last time. I probably added a few more stitches, but honestly, I have not stitched, and there's a reason why. The last time we spoke, I pretty much was 5 days in to launching the AlmondMnMs studio, and it's a website for silk floss. Floss? English isn't my first language, so please correct. But yes, it was a week per se into the launch, and I was busy dying, and I'm still busy dying. So there really wasn't an update from then till now, as far as stitching, but I do have a lot of little knickknacks updates. I've been pretty much shopping because I felt guilty. I didn't want to stitch, take away time from dyeing to stitch, because I just want to make sure that everyone was able to receive all of their orders. There's still orders that are pending in the mail. Let's talk about the post office. I know people that work for the post office, and this is no offense to anybody, but the post office, I totally understand that they have been doing their hardest to stay afloat, per se. However, my local post office is the worst. Literally the worst. And I'll tell you why. I didn't even say what today's date is. I think today is March 20th. Let's see. Yes, it's March 20th, 10 a.m. But yeah, so let's say I sent out a package yesterday, March 19th, or March 20th. Let's say I sent out the package today on March 20th, which I did send out some packages today. Went to the post office, dropped it off, came back up here. Now I'm doing this. But let's say you drop off the package today. They're not processing it until like 4 or 5 days later. And it's annoying. Like, I give you the packages, like, you're not even scanning them in. They're sitting there, and then there's no movement on them until like 4 or 5 days later. Like, how is that okay? That's my first situation with them. The second situation with them, I don't know if some, well, probably not, but this year, what are we, March? Yeah, well, maybe this year, who knows, maybe December. Last year, I had my diplomas sent to me via mail. And when I did, I had to go pick them up because they never dropped it off. So I went to the post office. I believe I had tracking. I did have tracking. Went to the post office. They couldn't find it. Went there like 3 days in a row, spoke to supervisors and everything. So lo and behold, a diploma is gigantic, so it's gonna be a big envelope. Long story short, I'm like standing there and they're looking, and I'm like, hey, like, you see that little thing that's back there in the cart? Like, can you read that package? No, that's not your package. Can you read the package, please? Like, just out of curiosity. My diploma was under a rolling table, literally, like, the wheel was on top of my envelope. So they had to like pry it off and hand it to me. So yes, that's been my experience with my local post office. So yeah, what I now have to do is take the packages with me in the morning if I'm going to work, which I have not been at work for a hot minute technically. I can definitely update you all on that too. But I had to. Are you guys not telling me that my hair is weird looking? Nobody told me anything. Tell me something. But yeah, I had to start taking the packages with me to work and use my local post office by work. So, yes. And they're actually nice and they scan everything for me. So I actually feel a little bit more better about my packages not getting lost. But yes, I have not been at work in a long time. Well, not a long time, but I had to take time off, obviously, because I wanted to make sure that everybody's orders and things were done because I was not ready. I was not ready for all of you. I definitely was not ready for all of you when I launched the website. I was ready, but I wasn't expecting the amount of support, which I am super happy, grateful, thankful, positive, everything, because you all have been supporting me consistently on a daily basis, and I truly appreciate that. But I just wasn't ready, so I had to make sure. And I don't call out from work, I don't take vacation times, I have all of my time, so it was a plus because I ended up using about 3 weeks worth of time to make sure that I was caught up and up to date, which is it's not a big deal, it's not a problem, it's great. We moved on. That's that. I think that's pretty much my updates about my life, about what's been going on. If I remember something, I'll sprinkle it in at some point of our conversations. So we spoke about my lack of stitching. Sorry. I'm definitely gonna try to do better, but I want to make sure that everyone is happy because I don't want angry people emailing me asking me where their packages are, because I want to make sure you all are happy and then I can figure out my stitching later on. Plus, I love this. I like what I'm doing, so thank you. Thank you for keeping me busy. There were a few questions that popped up when I did a Instagram story asking you all to let me know if there was anything that you wanted me to touch base on. I actually took a screenshot because I'm probably, which I already did, I'm gonna forget exactly everything, but I took a screenshot of what I wanted to touch base on. So someone asked for me to talk about surviving my DJ neighbor. We're still here, still dealing with the drama. To be honest with you, my boyfriend is pretty much trying to figure out like what is gonna be my going away present for this guy. joking. But yeah, we're still dealing with it. It's just so unhealthy. It's ridiculous. Like, I've never seen something like that. Like, I've seen it. Hello, like, I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York, but I've never lived in an environment like that. Like this in general, and it's just based on, you have people that are squatting in somebody else's place and they really don't care. So I mean, with the combination of COVID and like the courts being closed and etc., it's being very difficult for that to be handled. So we're actively dealing with it. I mean, lately he's been a little bit better, but I think it's because they've been out, which I don't understand. Like, how are you going on vacation and you don't even work? But that's none of my business. I'm gonna mind my own business. But yes, that's pretty much the updates that I have on my DJ neighbor. And sidebar, it's not like it's a young kid or like a younger okay. It's not like it's okay, I'll say it, but I'm not trying to be offensive. It's not like it's a younger person, like in their teens, in their 20s. Like, this person is minimum 45, 50 years old. Minimum. Because their outfits are very, like, I don't even know, like, I'm very not into, like, culture as far as, like, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Like, I'm not familiar with a lot of that stuff. But when you see his attire, you're definitely like, okay, like, homeboy, you're stuck in some kind of era that's not the current one. He has, like, the, like, crushed velvet do-rag, the crushed velvet, like, two-piece, like, sweatsuit situation, like the super baggy clothes. It's very, like, interesting. If you're aware of the Coogi outfits, like, very much like that. But yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, we're dealing with it. Like, hopefully we'll be able to, like, close and move and whatever within the next few weeks. Fingers crossed. Please, 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 please pray for me. Keep me in your thoughts, because honestly, like, this is insane. But whatever, we'll move away from that. So definitely I wanted to give you guys updates on that. Another thing is, a lot of the conversation was about the floss and what am I currently offering. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through my haul. I've been a bit shopping. I'm going, not really, but yes, really. It's just fabric. Fire poppies, you're killing me, but I love you. Oliver, it's your fault. Fire Poppy's team, it's your fault. But it's okay. I'll go through that. I also wanted to talk about a box that I received. And then at the end, I don't think this is going to be a long video. I think it's, 14 minutes in? I don't think it's going to be a long video. So, yeah. Maybe I'm not going to be long. Sorry, Rocio and Noah. I guess you guys win. But okay. So I'll start off with the box. So at some point during February, I received a box from Stitchly. I know a lot of you have probably seen, I have dye on it. I know a lot of you have probably seen this box featured on a few different channels. I think I have, but I mean, I'm so behind on Flosstube, it's not even funny. But I received this box. They gave it to me for free. Yay, look at me, I'm an influencer now. So they gave me the box for free. The main reason why I like this box, and I'm gonna go through it, the main reason why I like this box is because it's really a go-to for everything. Like, if someone is like, I want to start cross-stitching, just send this box to them, or send them the link if you're not the one that's purchasing it for them. But the box has, as you can share, a lot of goodies. So the box has a few hoops, which, I mean, these hoops are really good quality. Like, they're sanded, they're pretty great compared to like other cheapo hoops that like have like the wood still standing. You have to sand it down and you get splinters, etc. Like this is pretty like awesome. Like I like it. Like they're really, really good. Really, really good. And you have 3 different sizes, which is also, or 2 different sizes. You have 2 of this size and 2 of the smaller size, which is pretty awesome. You have a pack of floss. Like, hello, like a lot of floss in there. They're all numbered, obviously, and they're in bobbins. You have some snips. Snipping. Let me just open that. You have some scissors. They're actually called snips. Fashion design major. Then the most important part is, sorry for the crinkling. They also send you an additional set of plastic bobbins. The other ones are paper, cardboard situation. You also have some needles. And you also have a threader. Who is harassing me? Okay. You have some needles, some threaders in there. You also have the most important part. You have the Ada. I'm not an Ada stitcher, but I mean, we can figure that out. But you have Ada in here, like a lot of sheets, so it's gonna help you through all of the projects. You even have a little cutie one. You even have a printed pattern one. I'm gonna do this so you can kind of see. It's like a printed pattern with like the key and etc. on it. And then the most important part is the manual. So it pretty much gives you step-by-step instructions in a way for how to do everything and how to lay everything out. So pretty much I really recommend this, and the main reason why I actually said yes to getting this, because A, I wanted to review it, but B, I have had a lot of people, some of my friends, sidebar, one of my friends' mom watches me. Hi! So I have had a few friends say to me, I want to start cross-stitching. Help me. Like, what do I do? And of course, me being biased, like, I'm going to lead you to 50s. I'm going to lead you to 56 count. Not really, but I'm going to be biased and I'm going to lead you to, like, not the hardest things, but I'm going to definitely, like, I'm gonna show you how it's done. But I think with this, it's pretty much, you don't have to like shop around for things, like wait on multiple packages in order to start cross stitching. You can either like gift this to someone. I don't even remember the pricing. I want to say it's 30 bucks, maximum 40 bucks, maximum. That it's not even $40. Like I remember it's a 3, but don't quote me, it's definitely on Amazon, so you can have it delivered directly to you, or you can do an Amazon gift. So I highly recommend this. I mean, for the super beginner, or even someone that wants to get a few shorties done. Minis, I forget, whatever are the small whips. I always do bigger projects. I never know what they're called. So yeah, so I highly recommend this, and it's very, like, you have the instructions, everything is in there. It's really like on the go. All you have to do is probably get them like a mini project bag, and if anything, they can put it in a Ziploc bag. Not that serious, but I highly recommend this. Even if they didn't gift it to me, I mean, I've been searching on Etsy and different shops, and I'm always like beginner cross stitch kit, because people are always asking, and I never had a way to just be like, here, just buy this, everything is in there, and confidently say everything is in there. Let me know if you have any questions, but I can confidently say everything is in there. Let us know if you have any questions, me, them, or even whoever on Flosstube has been talking about this, because this is awesome, and I would highly recommend it, and I would buy it myself. Another thing that I purchased was, oh, look at my notes. Definitely off script. I could never be an actor. Another thing that I purchased, but I also wanted to talk about slightly, is my Knit Crate subscription. I tore this up. You can pretty much see it. So for February, my birthday month. I had a birthday, February 22nd. I shared a birthday with somebody. I forget who. But yeah, February. So this was the sock yarn that came in. It's pretty cool. It's like yellow with a little bit of sparkly darklies. Yes. Note, I have not gone back to knitting at all. So if you have this subscription, let me know what you're gonna do. I know Shiloh has this subscription. I would have to check in with her. They also sent me this. You always get a freebie in there. This is like a little like ice pack side. It's called Warm Hands, Warm Heart. So basically you can heat this up in the microwave, and you can use it as a hot compress, but you can also freeze this. Little tip of advice, and this is coming from me working with pediatrics in acupuncture. If you're a parent and you have kids with little hands, the little ones, you can use these as little ice packs, and they don't have to walk around with the whole big old ice pack bag situation. Or you can actually freeze little ketchup packets, so it's like little cute and tiny, and they can fit on the little eye or on the little boo-boos. But yes, sidebar. That's that. There you go with my rants. But yeah, so Knit Crate actually, I feel like their subscription is pretty affordable. It's on auto pay, so I'm not quite sure how much it is. I want to say it was like $25, $20. They recently announced that they had to raise the price on their subscriptions. I think it was all of them. And I mean, rightfully so, because they've been going through it as far as like suppliers and, you know, shipping and etc. So they're definitely raising their prices, so it's not going to be the same as what it used to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my subscription, and it's mainly because I've had the subscription for a few months now, and I have not used not one of them on there because I just haven't had a chance to. So I'm thinking of possibly stopping it, catching up, and then continuing. But then I also don't want to miss out. So let me know what I should do with my dilemma. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And it's definitely not the pricing. Like, I think it's definitely worth it. I'm just not sure if I should continue. I don't want to say being wasteful, but I don't want to continue being, in a way, wasteful and adding on to my stash without using it. Sidebar, did you realize that this is a swivelly chair? Yeah, so that's pretty much my subscription. I also, y'all, I have an issue, and this is all Oliver's fault from Fire Poppies. So he's been like, psst, psst, we have fabrics, and then I just go there and just purchase them. I'm not sure if I shared this pack with you. I don't think so, but I'm definitely gonna show it. Did I show you guys this? This? I purchased the Ultimate Sampler Multi-Source book. This is awesome. I feel like I've said this before, but I may have not, because I did this my second time filming, and maybe I said this in my last Flosstube. I definitely, in a way, want to stitch every single piece on here, like on a big piece of fabric, and then like just having it like on the wall, and it's like the source poster type situation versus having it on a book. And then it could be a great twin, or a great sister, a great brother to the Forever Sampler whenever that comes out. A modern folk embroidery. So yes, I have that. I've been on a fabric purchasing frenzy. So I purchased, I feel like I said this to you before, but I may have not, because obviously, who knows? Who remembers nowadays? Let me actually see, when was this sent out? Definitely not. Definitely not. I didn't share this with you all. So, I purchased a whole slew. Is that the word? Slew? Bucket full. A whole bucket full of 56 count linen. Yes. And it was mainly because I placed an order and I was like, do you guys have 56 count linen? And I'm pretty sure that the person on the other line was like, hell no. Hell no, but we can help you get it. And they did. And they continued giving me more options. So I ended up having to buy all the options. So I purchased pearl gray. I purchased hello white, right? Antique white. I dropped this one. I purchased cafe au lait. Cafe au latte or au lait? What do you think? I think it's cafe au lait. These 56 count. Hello, yes. And then I also purchased a cream, 56 count. So you know what that means. I have a whole bunch of 56 count to play with. I'm definitely keeping these for all of my samplers, all of my stitching, which is great. In addition to that, I also purchased more fabric a few weeks later. And this was 45, sorry for the crinkles. This was 45 count linen. And actually, I'm mainly showing this because this is like beautiful colors. And I really haven't seen them, but maybe it's because I'm a newbie. So purchased some 45 count Nightingale. Some 45 count wild bird seed. Ooh. Some 45 count woven sage, I think. This might be the one that I'm using for, but I'm using it on 56 count, that I'm using for my Bristol sampler. Look at this one. This one is a 53/63, so it's gonna be interesting when I start stitching on this. And I think I made a mistake, and I ordered an 1/8 instead of a 1/4. But I mean, this is enough for me. I can probably get 20 projects in here. But this one is French. I don't understand the writing there. Some 53 count Gothic Avery. Am I really showing this? I'm probably not. Some 53 count manuscript vellum. 53/63 Sandcastle linen. Teehee. 53/63. So bad, y'all. 53/63 Sicilian marzipan. 53/63 sycamore seed pod. I promise this is the last one. 53/63 woodland bower. So on this one, literally, they were like, oh, we have new fabrics. And I straight up went through, and then I had to confirm that I think it was like 10 new fabrics, 10 new pieces that they had. I was like, I want them all. But I did leave you all some for my 53s, 56, and 45 count people. Definitely check out Fire Poppies to see what they have, because they've been amazing. Yes, they've been amazing. Another thing that popped up on the questions, I'm gonna actually drink some water because I'm thirsty, I'm hot, I have this shirt on, and I actually, it's like sleeveless, but I put the shirt on because I don't want to be inappropriate. on here. So another thing that actually popped up in the questions box from the Instagram story was how am I organizing my floss and whips, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up, y'all. I am trying to purchase something. And I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one. Oh, actually, you see, my attention span is so short right now. It's so bad. So one of the questions that came up were my whip organization, storage slash organization. So I wanted to tell you what I'm doing now, and B, let you know what I'm going to be doing within the next few months as soon as I move. But this also falls in the same lines with my floss. I will definitely have to do a like walkthrough of when I do it. But currently what I'm doing is the way I'm storing my whips, I actually take this, like this is my current whip. It really fits so small to the point where this is my project bag. It literally all fits in here. Like honestly, it all fits in here. And then if I'm doing multiple projects at the same time, right now I'm only doing the coverlet, sometimes the Bristol sampler. Don't quote me because I have ideas for other things, so don't quote me on that. So what I've been doing is if I'm not using it, I actually keep it open, flat. And then I'll put like tissue paper or something in between the sheets. That's actually what is pretty much done for archival things as well. I work for a company that we have a library as far as like our garments, and I come from the fashion industry, the background. That's all I've done pretty much, and we even learned that in school, and even going to like the Met, the MoMA, like all these different museums and doing like the walkthroughs of their archives. Usually what they do is that they have drawers. A friend of mine has drawers in his home. I'm not going to say their name because I'm not sure if they want to share that, but they have drawers in their home, and they have the archival paper over it, over like in between each sampler per se. Yes, they collect, or yes, it's clothing as well. We do that in the fashion, like for my company we do the same thing. So that's pretty much like what I'm going to end up doing because I'm moving. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna get like a painting file cabinet type thing, but it's not like a file cabinet like this. It's like the longer drawers, and you keep everything flat. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do, especially because I'm going to start purchasing samplers and just a lot of needle work pieces, and it's mainly because I want to make sure that I am doing my part in preserving a lot of our work, like our artwork or other people's artwork that are no longer with us. And I think that it's time for them to come home. So I'm gonna try to do my best and pick up pieces here and there. So that's pretty much like how I'm gonna save everything. But actively right now what I'm doing is just keeping them pretty much flat and like, you know, kind of like a book situation, and I just pick them up as I go. That's why I really don't have like a lot of like wrinkle marks or like heavy creasing on my stuff, because I do it that way. I'm also gonna do that with my fabrics as well. I'm probably going to store them like this, or you know, if they're quarters or eighths or whatever and it's big enough, what I'm gonna do is definitely iron it and then tissue paper fold it in so the tissue paper absorbs the creasing of that. We do that with garments as well in the industry, especially if you're like packaging something that's super expensive. You fold, every fold you're including tissue paper in there. So that's pretty much what I do, and what I'm gonna continue doing, but just in a bigger scale when I move. So I figured if anybody's interested in doing that. And I mean, a lot of people have their own you know, project bags that are like awesome and things like that, and I've seen some amazing organization with like all of these different project bags all in order. Props to you if that's what your organization system is, but you know, everyone organizes according to their own way, and pretty much that's how I'm gonna do it. So hopefully that's the same way that you would like to do it, or whatever the case may be. Whenever I move, I'll most likely do that because I want to share the space with my space with everyone. I also, since that conversation came up, I also wanted to include my floss organization. So there's a caveat. Is that the proper word? There's a caveat to this. Obviously, a few months ago, I was stitching with either silks or DMC and things like that. So over time, my stitching has evolved, as many of ours does. And I do have the full DMC collection, which I have to go back in and double check and make sure that I have everything so I can order everything, etc. But I haven't been able to do that because of moving. So what I did, I found this organization system from, I can't remember. If I find it, I'll put it below in the description box, and you can probably find it. But what I do, this is also a way how I carry my whips. I fold everything in there and it fits. Right now, it's a little like knick-knack box because I've been like collecting like little things that I've been like working with and things like that. So it's all here. So actively, it's a hot mess, but it's pretty much like where I'm gathering different things. But I have my floss, I have everything, like my like needles, like even my counter, everything fits in there. So it's basically like a hard case. You spill things on it and it's not really going to be an issue. I also do store my floss this way as well. As you can see, like I have my DMCs and things like that. So for the DMCs, and I'm definitely going to end up doing this with the floss, other floss as well. But for the DMC, I actually, let's pretend that this is full of DMC. So what I actually do is I have the same amount of boxes. I have about like 30 to 40 of them. But I have the same amount of boxes as with the same amount of, if you don't have a DMC color card, get it. Like this should be part of your arsenal. It's kind of like one of the best purchases that I've ever made, and I had to wait a very long time. So I have the same amount of boxes as what is the same amount of columns. Rows? Yeah, columns that the color card has. So basically what I have is 25 all the way over here. I think I may have this together, but what I do is I pretty much have, actually I have 20. I have 20. I need to combine all of this together. And I haven't really purchased these because these are more specialty, and yeah, I just have to get my life together. But I pretty much have 20 of them, and I store them according to the color family. So I have, this is just an example. Let's say this is the purple. So I'll have all of this color family in here. That being said, I also have a little label on here that will say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know what line I'm looking for. So pretty much I use this as a visual of what I'm looking for. And then I just go into my drawer and I just pick it out from the file cabinet per se. Like I just have it all laid out in a drawer like this. I actually have them p-touched, like labeled here, here, and here, so it gives me the opportunity if I want to store them like this or store them like this if your drawer is a little bit shorter. So I pretty much have all of the floss from that line in there, and then what I do is I just pretty much go through, and if I need to, like, if I pull something, I have a post-it and I'll say like this is what's pulled, etc. And then like every few months per se, I just do like an inventory check and I go through, or just keep a running list on your phone so you know if you end up at like a Michael's or wherever, Blick Art, like whatever place that sells floss, if you end up with somewhere, you can quickly like pick some up and you're ready to go. But that's pretty much how I have my floss, my DMC. I'm going to end up doing that same situation with my personal collection of silks as well, whether it's Mrs. Seva's, Au Vera Soie, like, you know, like all these different soaps, like I will definitely do that. However, like I really don't stitch with, like, when I first started stitching, I was like, I have to buy all the DMC. It's really not necessary, but I did buy it and I wanted the whole collection. But I also feel like DMC is like a core situation to have. But as far as like if I'm stitching with, you know, the Soie Surfine or the Soie 103 or whatever, like I'm not gonna get all of the colors. I'm just gonna get the colors that I need. So I pretty much at this point I'm starting to have like the miscellaneous flosses situation. However, obviously now I have my own silk floss line, which I'm gonna talk about next. I am going to start just organizing them by color family or by name order. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be by color family, but I'm not sure yet. I actively have 25 colors, but I'm working on adding more colors in. I wanted to start off with a smaller amount. Perhaps it's not really small, but it is small. If you love stitching and you want to buy one of everything, which I know a lot of people have, but I am going to start adding more colors based on the feedback, based on inspiration, and based on I want to continue providing you all more color options and more things that you want to stitch with. So yeah, so I'm going to have to personally start deciding how I'm going to organize my personal floss stash of this. I'm really not. I don't have any floss for myself. I only keep one of each as a control. That being said, if I'm doing this color, it's a chambray, it's a blue, I'll keep one, and that is the one that I'm going to be aiming every color towards. If it does not match, it's not passing quality control and it's going to have to get re-dyed until it gets done properly or etc. So I just keep one of each and that's my control. And you'll see that once I start talking about it. I did want to talk about the floss. I have a little jar, of the colors. This is 25. It's not a jar, it's a cup. It's my boyfriend's cup, so don't tell him. Don't tell him that I have his cup. So I pretty much have one of each in here, and I'll tell you what the control means. All of them are actually not labeled, minus this one. So what I did was, you know, I have the labeling with the number and the name, so I pretty much know like this is what the number is, this is what it's called, but it's also based on my filing system in my brain, on how I have everything noted in my notes as well. So it's a little small system, so I pretty much have everything. So what I'm going to do now is, I think I'm pretty much done with all the updates. as far as what's been going on, I've been rambling for like 46 minutes. Don't hate me. Hopefully you've been just stitching and just listening to me ramble, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is talk about the floss, walk through everyone, the colors, the options, etc. And then if you have any questions, put it below. I'm going to be more consistent as far as posting, either weekly or bi-weekly. Let's see what happens next week, but weekly or bi-weekly, I'm going to be posting more consistently. I did need to take a break because of everything that's going on. But I'm going to go through this, and then if you have any questions, just let me know. So I'm going to leave this one for last because there's a few things that I also want to announce. So here we go. Bumblebee. Not Bumblebee. Let's go to Bumblebee. Let's look for Bumblebee. So this is Bumblebee. So, you know, colors are going to vary based on dye lat. Sometimes you may have a slight lighter one, a slight darker one. But overall, you're probably going to get the consistency. If you're purchasing something for a project, please make sure that you let me know, or you just order the same. You order the same one. You order multiples of that. I can't promise if you order something today that a week from now you're gonna have the same exact dye lat. So if you're gonna order, make sure you're ordering it all in one shot. That being said, if you're ordering 15 pieces, I'm gonna make sure that your 15 pieces are the same dye lat, period. Like, I'm gonna make sure of that. Also, I know there was an instance where someone ordered something for a project and they were planning on ordering an X amount of skeins, and I was just kind of like, hey, you know, it's better for you to order a hank. I'm not trying to upsell you, but it's actually cheaper to order a hank versus multiple skeins of this based on the numbers of your project. So if you get an email like that from me, know that I'm not upselling you. I'm just letting you know that you're gonna get excuse me, you're gonna get a better deal by purchasing it in a different way, and I'm just gonna let you know that because I want you to have options. I don't want anyone to ever feel like, oh wow, like I could have purchased X amount and they basically cheated me. Also, if I know there was an instance where someone ordered twice, actually it happened twice, where someone ordered twice and I was able to like pick that up quickly, I'll reach out to you. I'm gonna hold your package until you reach back out to me. I'll give you a week, maximum 2 weeks. If you don't answer me, I'm gonna send both of the same exact order twice. But I was thankfully able to touch base with everyone and double check and make sure, like, yes, indeed it was a mistake. I'm not gonna like send something if I notice that you order the same exact thing a minute apart from each other. Like, I'm not gonna be like that. So if at any moment you feel like that happened, just let me know quickly if you realize, and we'll rectify that, etc. But that being said, yes, you will see a slight change into the colors as well. Obviously, as a business, I'm evolving. I'm learning different things as well because I had to quickly go from made to order. Now you're gonna start hearing my neighbor, and it's 10:39. He's actually very low right now. I quickly had to transition from made to order to ready to ship, and still I am mostly ready to ship. However, there's a lot of things that are gonna be made to order, especially if you're ordering hanks, because I really don't stock the hanks, because I'm just not sure what you are going to order like in X amount of time. So I will take a few days just to do that for you and make sure. In the dyeing process, if like the color doesn't look right, I'm not gonna send it until it's done properly. So just understand that that's what's happening. And over time, I did have to transition from made to order to ready to ship, and I quickly had to learn how to do that super fast, which is fine and it's great. We're evolving. That being said, this is Bumblebee. Some people are gonna have a slight yellow, some people are gonna have a more blacker, a more greener. It just all depends on how it was done. I'm gonna actually have to open the window because it is hot in here and I don't want to take off my shirt, so give me 1 second. So cotton candy, had to open the window / my fire escape. So we spoke about Bumblebee, right? I don't think I forgot anything about Bumblebee, but I'll remember. I'll see it when I start editing. Let's talk about cotton candy. So cotton candy, this is cotton candy. So you're gonna get a mixture of greens, blues, yellows, pinks, possibly a little bit of white and things like that. But this is cotton candy. I think that's better, right? So I want people to understand or visually see the differences of what a cotton candy looks like in a hank versus what a cotton candy looks like in a skein. I did dye everything in skeins before, and that's not effective. Like it's not effective for my workflow. So eventually I had to start dyeing in hanks and then breaking it up, which I guess that's the smarter way to do it. Hello, nobody told me. So this is cotton candy in the hank. So you're gonna have a larger variegation. So this is the same thing as this. It's just the way it's skeined, the way it's wrapped up. It's the same exact thing. So just know if you see a photo, and I'm gonna actually do better about photographing things. I feel like I did a great job about photographing things, but I want to make sure to capture the colors for you. So what I may end up doing is not even doing this, like the photos, because a lot of the website photos are of the skein like this. What I'm gonna probably end up doing is probably do a photo of like it like this, like here's the photo type thing, so you can kind of see like a different variation. I'm gonna see, but I want to make sure that I'm able to capture the color so you can visually see what's going on and understand what you're purchasing, right? We have rosé or rose, but I say rosé. I don't know. I put the little apostrophe on the top. We also have berry blue. Berry blue, I mean, it just reminds me of like squashed blueberries. This guy is annoying. It reminds me of squashed blueberries. So this is why I called it berry blue and I dropped it. This one is clouds. So you have a mixture of blues. Oh my god, this guy is so annoying. So you have a mixture of the blues, some greens, some whites, etc. Also, so that's clouds. Ice cream is just ice cream. Ice cream is pretty much a plain white, snowy, icy color. Moss Boss. Moss Boss is cool. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. So I have a Moss Boss. Moss Boss is a mixture of greens, yellows, blacks, grays. You like how I'm holding this? So this is Moss Boss. We have some Atomic Tangerine. This is that. It's a neon-y orange. I have a brass. I also have a gingerbread. So the gingerbread kind of looks like brass when put together next, like side by side. However, they're not the same. And I don't think I can capture this in the video. The gingerbread has slight specks of like browns, and you'll find a little bit of like blacks and a little bit of reds in it. But it's just very, and I'm gonna actually show you a little speck here. You see like black, there might be some specks of red. I don't think you can see that, but it's different. I promise it's different. I swear it's different. You have the bluebell. Bluebell, you're gonna have the blues, the greens, the golds in there as well. I actually like the way I'm doing this. You have tantalizing teal. This one is a solid, pretty much a solid. You have powder blue. So it's kind of like a purple bluish situation. And what's funny, fun fact, this is Sassy Sapphire, right? Fun fact, these three are the same exact color. However, time tells everything. Time does everything. So these three are the same exact color, they're just different time. Yeah, just so you know. This one is a little bit enhanced though, but they're all the same color. Emerald City. Like, hello, who doesn't need an emerald? So some of you may have gotten it a little bit darker and some of you may have gotten a little bit lighter, but I think there was only like 2 batches of these, and I like me some emerald. Let's see, what else? Gilded Gold. Gilded Gold, like, I mean, if it isn't obvious to you, I have a lot of gold. I wear a lot of gold. I come from a jewelry background, so I have a lot of jewelry. But Gilded Gold, I had to put a gold in there. Some flamingo. Sidebar, someone is doing a flamingo. Something with flamingo in it, and chef's kiss. Ooh, let's see. Ooh, a flamingo. It's kind of like a hot pinky. Some wine. There we go. We have Raven. It's kind of like a black, but it's not 310. It's not 310. It's a black, but it has streaks of gray in it, but it's subtle. But yeah, I also want to talk about, if I forget to talk about my process, remind me. This one is writer's chair. Writer's chair. So you have like the grays, the dark browns, the dark purples, the reds, a little bit of the yellows. Like, it's a, I don't know, I like it. It just reminds me of an old leather chair. And I think this one was named by Andrea. Andrea, was this you? I think this was her that named this one. Frosty Slate, it's a gray. But it's also, you're gonna get that like powdery gray in it. This guy is annoying. Calabasa. You have these. So it's kind of like a squash color. Did I talk about sangria? This is my control one. This one is my super simple one. So this is Sangria. Let's see how I do this while I'm holding this. So this is a Sangria. And it's a mixture of like red, black. I'll show you. So it's a mixture of like red, black, and some hot pink, not hot pinks, some like, I did like a faded effect. So that's why I call it Sangria when I painted it on. But then over time I had to change the way I did it. When I say when I painted it on, I actually like to like draw it out on paper and kind of like mimic it on the dyeing process. So a few things that I did want to talk about now that we're here. Sorry I'm a mess, but a few things that I wanted to talk to you all about was before I forget, this is Estrella or Estrella. So you have a mixture of like blues, goldy yellow, pumpkin-y color, and white. And you have this one, which, as this video is being filmed, is still called Mint Madness. However, I don't want to call that anymore. Because as I said, I'm trying to get away from like crazy, insane, psycho. Madness should be part of that too. So I'm going to change the name. I asked everyone, and the name that I'm going to change it to, still gonna keep mint on it. I'm gonna take off Madness and I'm gonna add Magic. So it's gonna be Mint Magic instead of Mint Madness, because why not make the correction now than later? That's the first thing. And I wanna, if I'm doing something wrong, if I see something wrong, I wanna make sure that I'm doing what I can do, doing my part to make sure that I'm doing it better. So I don't know, like when we named it, I don't know, when I named it, because I'll take responsibility, when I named it, I really didn't think about the commutation that madness brings. So I'm just gonna change it. Like, I mean, it's not a big deal, but if it bothers one person, which no one has said anything, but if it bothers one person and that one person was me, then it might bother other people, so why not fix it? So it's gonna be Mint Magic instead of Mint Madness. So if you're gonna be searching for it, if you keep the word mint, it's gonna be in there. So that's what I have to say about that. So I wanted to also show the compare and contrast. So I have on the shop the 8-yard skeins, and it's 8 yards and a little bit of love, because I always add a little bit of love to everything, so why not add it to my skeinage, my yardage? So yeah, like you have 8 yards and a little bit of love, just in case, you know, like sometimes frogging, you know, like whatever, or like those little tails that run at the end, like whatever, like it's not that serious. I added a little bit more than 8 yards. So I have the 8-yard skeins, I have the 50-gram skeins, and then I have the 100-gram skein. This one is a little bit smaller than 100 grams, but that was because I don't know. This was like from the beginning when I was deciding weight wise, but this is like, I want to say like 85 yards of Ice Queen, but pretty much you can see it's a big difference in size. And yeah, so these are the 3 sizes that you're gonna find. That being said, I also wanted to give you all the option as well, because I noticed for two colors, the Estrella and the Sangria. I'm gonna bring it back up. Where is it? Hold on. I want to give everyone the option of selecting two ways of doing it. And this is my mind. So Estrella and Sangria are still dyed in skein form. Like I'm dyeing these in a skein form because that's my method. Like I want to keep the integrity of the variegation, right? The same thing goes for the hank of it. So what I'm going to do is, or what I did was, this is for the people that want to color control. If you want to color control as far as like, you know, and I'll explain that as well. If you want to color control as far as like, okay, I want this whole half blue and this whole half orange and then this center white, you can do that with the skein or with the hank. Obviously with the hank, it's going to be a longer variegation, like a longer length of like blue, white, and orange, or red, black, and gray, etc. And when you're doing the skeins, you're gonna have a shorter distance. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping these, but I also wanted to include, and I'm showing you the example because I have it in a Sangria option. So this and this are the same exact thing. It's just the skeinage, like how it's wrapped. That being, I don't think you can see it properly. Let me hold it like this. Okay, there you go. So you see by my pinky and by my pointer finger, they're the same exact thing, the same exact color. It's just the way that it's wrapped and the way it's dyed. So if you want a longer length per color, like a longer chunk of red, a longer chunk of white, you're gonna get, you should look at this one. I'm not telling you what to get, but you're gonna look at this one. And it's gonna be Sangria as well, but we're calling it Spritz. That's my boyfriend's name for the Sangria and the or it's Spritz or Stirred. I need to double check which one it was, but I'm gonna include it by the ending of today, Saturday, March 20th. After he gets home, I'll probably text him and ask him what was the name that he wanted to contribute. So that being said, this is Sangria. I pretty much wrapped it up instead of see, this is Sangria off of a big, this is Sangria like this. So that being said, I wanted to show the length of color. So you have, this is how far your repeat is going to go. Someone is literally going nuts texting me. So this is your length. So you have the reds, the whites, and the blacks. So you have a little bit longer way to control your color. That's that. But I'm gonna include that option in there just so you know. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been yapping for like an hour. Sorry, y'all. I figured it was gonna be a long one, but I wanted to walk everyone through all of the floss, all of the options, all of the colorways, my thought process, my dyeing process. I pretty much, each color is slightly dyed differently. If it's a solid, it's dyed a different way. If it's a variegated one, it's dyed a completely different way. But as I said, I come from an art, drawing, fashion background, so the way I'm dyeing everything is a little bit different because I'm doing it in layers, as if I love watercolor, I love gouache, so I'm doing it the same way as if I would paint something on paper. Like I'm doing them in layers versus just flat out mixing everything. I don't know if you understand what that means, but I'll let you ponder on that and let me know if you have any questions with that. I'm definitely going to be adding more colors. Just be patient with me. I'm working on it. I'm going to add more colors. I do have a few things that I'm working on for the ending of the year, so I'll probably announce that in the next few weeks. I just have to get the numbers and whatever, and I don't know, but I'll figure that out. And aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. If you all have any questions, concerns, comments, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm gonna be better about answering. Sidebar, if you email me, if you Instagram message me, I always have my phone. So if you don't get an answer from me, it means I didn't see it. But usually I go like every 2 to 3 days and I check my spam folders and things like that. So if I didn't answer you in like 2 days, don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's because I didn't see it, and I'll eventually find it in my spam. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. All of the updates. I hope you enjoyed this long video of me yapping, more talking, less of stitching, but hopefully definitely fulfilling all of your stitching needs. If you really enjoyed it, comment, subscribe, whatever. Check the website, follow me on Instagram. I do update more on Instagram than what I do here, but yeah, just do whatever like they tell you to do as far as like all the like things that you have to do. But yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. It's been great catching up with everyone. I hope you were able to stitch a lot or just clean a lot if you were cleaning or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it was great chit-chatting with everyone. I hope to see you on the next one, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.